Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine,
I'm Gray Mars.
and today we are going to be talking about the bombshell testimony from Capricorn Clark. We'll also be taking calls today, so if you guys want to join in on the conversation. So, Gray, have you ever heard of who Capricorn Clark is?
No, I'm not familiar at all.
So, Capricorn Clark was an assistant to Diddy, okay? And she also became somewhat semi an assistant to Cassie, but also a friend. She is like a play sister to Lauren London. And we all know who Lauren London is. Lauren London is a biracial actress. She was Nipsey Hussle's late partner when he passed away. She has kids by him. So we all know her from ATL. So pretty much that's the connection to who this person was. And today she took the stand. I'm assuming she's one of the last witnesses for the prosecution. So we're going to break down today and tell you who Capricorn Clark was. As you guys may or may not know, the trial took a long break. The last day was on Thursday. We last ended with Kid Cudi, who testified last week that Capricorn Clark called him in December 2011 to warn him that Combs had forcibly entered his Hollywood Hills home after learning that Kid Cudi had been dating Combs' on again, off again girlfriend, Cassie. Gray, what's your thoughts about this person? Is she a Judas? What do you think of her?
I feel like lots of people in this entourage or in this crew are going to be pulled into the fray. I seen Young Thug called Kid Cudi a snitch, but the story's already out there. Everything's already out there. So I don't really feel like these people are really hurting Diddy. You can't hold them accountable, especially if they're being subpoenaed to hold your secrets. I don't know how Diddy himself feels about her testifying, but if I'm Diddy and I'm in that situation, the jig is up. Everybody's gonna like come to court. I'm not gonna hold somebody to the non-snitch code because we were running a business and it wasn't deemed as illegal. Now, if it was illegal, then yeah, you can consider somebody a snitch.
Right. And so you guys know this is who Capricorn Clark is. Sorry, I'm trying to fix that. Let me see if I can yeah. That was who Capricorn Clark is. She pretty much is, just so we see what she looks like. So basically you're saying, in your opinion, you don't believe that she is a snitch.
No, I don't think she's a snitch. I mean, I feel like, how are you gonna hold her to like hold your secrets? I mean, like she just is like, I'm pretty sure she was on a regular payroll. She felt like she was a regular employee. Now, if behind the scenes, Diddy was like, this is gang activity, we're an illegal organization. We're going with the Nosa Nostra, whatever you say with the mafia, and saying that we're gonna keep the vow of silence. Then yeah, it should be handled in the streets according to the street code. But from what I'm seeing with the people that are working with Diddy, they were employed, they were either W-9 employees or they were working at a real company.
Right. So during her testimony today, she said that she had she worked for him from 2004 through 2012. She says once in December 2011 she was kidnapped. Prosecutor Mitzi Steiner didn't ask additional questions about the incident, but is sure to return to the topic later on. Do you believe she was kidnapped? Why would she say that?
Who was kidnapped? Cassie?
No, Capricorn Clark, the assistant. This is her testimony from today.
That she was kidnapped by Diddy?
That's what she alleges.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, listen, Everything that's been attached to Diddy name is just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. So, did he kidnap her? I don't know, but it's very possible. She's under oath. If she's gonna say, "Hey, did he kidnap me? Did he convince me to do something I didn't want to do?" Diddy's character and what people are saying basically seems like it is possible Diddy could have done very nefarious things and done things that most of us would deem either bad or illegal.
Also, fun fact, we have another Tupac connection. Guess who she used to work for?
Suge Knight.
Yeah. Yo, bro, obsessed with Tupac and Suge. Let me read this to y'all. He threatened to once kill her on her first day of working with him over his rival, Suge Knight. The Bad Boy Records founder took Clark to a deserted Central Park after dark with his security guard to issue a stark warning to her, since she used to work for Suge Knight, who was also the dad of her best friend's kids. Bro, this girl is a Judas. She's a freaking Judas, bro. Why the hell would you go work for Diddy? Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, Cassie and all of them, who knows? Maybe they were being paid by Suge to give it. By Suge to go give information. This is crazy. He told me that he didn't know that I had anything to do with Suge Knight, and that if anything happened, he would have to kill me. Suge Knight, whose real name is Marion Knight Jr., founded West Coast rival Death Row Records. He's also currently serving 28 years behind bars for manslaughter. Gray, what is your thoughts about that? That's a freaking bombshell thing. Why the hell would she go work for him? I mean, to me, she's a Judas, bro. I'm sorry.
It was a lot of back and forth with the two bad boy camps and the death row camp. You gotta realize the music industry is like really small. So like if a person's working in the music industry, they have limited options on who they want to work for. I don't know if people know this, but Suge Knight and Dr. Dre have the same baby mama, Michelle. Their sons are brothers. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, their sons are brothers. Dr. Dre was accused of doing domestic violence on her, and then she ended up getting with Suge Knight. If a lot of other people don't know, Lil Baby and the rapper and the basketball player Anthony Edwards, who was recently called out for not paying child support, they share the same baby mama. So this isn't like a big thing in the entertainment industry where people aren't around each other or people aren't working together. So her working for Suge and then her working for Diddy isn't really a shocker. I mean, like even in the industry we're in, there are people who come on our podcast and go work at other podcasts, even if we don't necessarily get along with that podcast, True. Whatever the case may be. So, I mean, I think it's just that the industry is so niche and it's just limited options for her.
I don't know, y'all. How many limited options are there? I don't agree. I think that this girl went in there knowing she was going to be a snitch. Also, it's funny. She liked to play both sides, it seems like. She was friends with Cassie, and I believe she also formed a friendship, from my understanding, with Kim Porter. Capricorn Clark testified that she worked from 9 a.m. until 4 a.m. during shifts where she couldn't even take breaks or even eat meals. Gray, why would some people continue to work for this man if he worked them like slaves, basically? Why? Like, I don't get it. I mean, and I believe she was probably making like close to 200,000 because the lower assistant was making 125 a year.
Have you ever seen the Dave Chappelle skit for Making a Band?
No, tell me about it. I forget.
Basically, they said that Diddy got the inside, not Diddy, Dave Chappelle got the inside on how Diddy really was. And like Diddy is basically like, I mean, I hate to use this word, but a slave driver. I'm gonna show the video because it shows basically exactly how Diddy is. Even though it's a comedy sketch, Dave Chappelle was able to get this information, and it was said that Diddy treated his staff like this, and that he caused them to do a whole lot of crazy stuff. Diddy had the Making a Band members walk miles and miles just to deliver a cheesecake for Beyonce. So
you have it pulled up?
I will pull it up. Okay, keep talking.
All right, I'll keep talking while you pull it up. All right, guys. So she was making just $65,000. Oh my God, even worse than I thought, making just $65,000 as Bad Boy Records founder's assistant and the head of human resources. told Combs he owed Clark $80,000 in overtime for a 3-month period. He ripped up the paper laying out what Clark was owed, she testified. She said she never was paid for overtime hours. Yo, this is like, to me, this is more like bombshell. Like, forget the freaking racketeering. He was running a damn slave factory over there. I mean, like, forget the S trafficking. This is human trafficking. This is like modern day slavery. Like, what the hell? Clark told jurors that Combs' bodyguard, Uncle Polly, came to her house and forced her to come with him to an abandoned skyscraper at 1710 Broadway after Combs' diamond necklace bracelet and watch went missing when she was transporting them. She was greeted on the 6th floor by a heavyset man, chain smoking cigarettes and drinking black coffee. He said, "If you fail this test, we're going to throw you in the East River." Clark says she underwent a whopping 5 full days of lie detector tests before being told she could finally return to work. Bro, this to me. Oh,
So
all right.
so Dave Chappelle knew stuff really about Diddy, and Diddy really did that on the Making a Band show. He really made them walk miles and miles and miles to go get a cheesecake for Beyonce. So even though that was a skit and it was joking around, there was elements of truth in that, and that's from the early 2000s, like when I was in high school. So like, not to age myself, but almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, so I mean, she also testified and told jurors that after the music mogul stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, there was a lot of baby oil everywhere. She said she had to help unpack the Bad Boy Records founder's bags for his 3 to 4 day hotel stints, including clothes, a camera bag, baby oil, personal lubricant, and slugs like E. After one of his stays at the Intercontinental Hotel, where Combs was notoriously caught on surveillance footage beating his girlfriend Cassie, the room was left covered in baby oil. I could see handprints left on the ultra suede wall. It was just a lot of baby oil everywhere. Wasn't just necessarily on the wall. It wasn't clear from her testimony if the time she was referring to was the same day when Cassie was beat by Sean. So guys, I did a live on this on Nor Christine Live, and I talked about the baby oil thing and what's the connection, because Steve Harvey he's obsessed with baby oil, and I played the clips of Steve Harvey. What do you think it is about the baby oil, Gray? What is the obsession about it? Because Steve Harvey's also obsessed about it as well.
Lubricant. And just put it on the body. If you watch any Corn episodes, one of the main things they do is they put a lot of lubricant on the person, on the female, or on the male, depending on what your taste is. So it gives a better pleasurable experience, whether it's on your regular body or on your private areas. So basically, it increases the pleasure factor.
Got it. When she told him, "I hate it here. I hate working for you," she testified that he once ran at her, shoving her 25 to 30 yards in front of his chef at his Miami Beach home. When the chef repeated to the Bad Boy Records, he merely looked at me and said, "You hate it here?" And he charged at me. Clark told the jury he ran towards me with his hands open and charged at my shoulders. "If you hate it here, get the F out of my house," Combs said after launching Clark dozens of feet away. Combs' security guard intervened and he told Clark to pack her things. She said she stopped working for the rapper after that incident. "That was crossing my boundary." Ooh, so not only are you underpaid and undercut, you are then assaulted. Why do you think she didn't go to the police, Gray?
I think with the entertainment industry, it's just one step away from the streets. So, I mean, when you're working in the entertainment industry, it doesn't feel like your normal corporate 9 to 5, or even just a typical labor job, or just working at home remotely. So she probably felt like if I do something, or if I turn him in, he may retaliate. Remember, Diddy is attached to 2 deletions of 2 big prominent figures. That is Biggie, the Notorious B.I.G., who was signed to him, and Tupac Shakur, who was actually beefing with their label. So I seen a woman, I don't know her name, I don't want to misquote her, but she said Sean was too afraid to admit that Diddy was the person that shot someone when we were in the club, and that Kid Cudi was too afraid to tell someone that the car was blown up. So why do we expect these women to be brave enough to go at Diddy? And to me, that has some validation.
Also, guys, another thing. She said that she told jurors the hip hop mogul said he was going to kill Kid Cudi after discovering he was dating Cassie. She said that Diddy came to her apartment livid and was holding a gun in his hand, telling her, "Get dressed. We're going to kill this N-word," referring to Kid Cudi. When asked why didn't she call up Cassie, "I'd never seen anything like this before. He had never come to my house the entire time I known him. I'd never seen him with a weapon." She then got into a black Escalade with Combs and sat on his lap while he still had the gun. What the hell? Once they arrived at Kid Cudi's home, Combs went inside while Clark remained in the car. "He came and got me with a gun and took me to Cudi's house to kill him." Clark testified she told Ventura by phone why Combs was inside. So, like, that was pretty bold of her. Like, the car might have been hacked. Like, at least she did try to warn them. Like, what do you think, Gray?
It could have been. I'm not sure. Like I said, at least someone tried to warn them. But the question I want to ask you, I've seen a bunch of memes saying that like Kid Cudi's dog. I mean, obviously, the dog's not going to testify, but they kept on talking about that the dog is going to testify. Why is that meme going around? What did he do to Kid Cudi's dog?
So what he did to Kid Cudi's dog was he locked the dog in a bathroom, and he they're not sure if he gave him something bad to eat, but the dog was never the same again. It was like the dog had PTSD from that situation. So that's what the meme is about. Okay, so she said Diddy viciously kicked Cassie after breaking into Kid Cudi's home. He kicked her the same day he broke into her home after discovering that the rapper had been seeing Ventura. The Bad Boy Records founder, wearing underwear and a robe in his Los Angeles mansion, started kicking Ventura in the thigh and leg with 100% full force after he found out his longtime on and again, off again girlfriend had a fling with King Cudi. She didn't do anything, she testified. She was just crying silently. This is the thing I don't understand about Cassie. Everybody loves to say, "Oh, they were broken up. They were broken up." Well, why the hell Cassie kept going to his house? Do you believe they were broken up, or do you think she was playing both sides?
I think it's a possibility that she was playing both sides. I think she just saw, you can't really see. I think she just saw, an opportunity, and like basically she was in love with Diddy. I think it's hard to run away from money and love and like just convenience. So I think that she felt like this is convenient for me. I don't want to leave this situation. I don't want to hurt my career. I don't want to hurt my finances.
Also, guys, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. She was the one that drove Cassie there. Earlier that day, Combs kidnapped Clark while holding a gun. This is why she said the kidnapping thing, and threatening to kill Kid Cudi and forcing Clark to come along while he broke into the rapper's home. Clark eventually drove Ventura to Combs' house. So he was like, "Go get her." So let me clarify that. I apologize. I don't want to misspeak, but I mean, somehow she always ended up back with him. So I mean, am I really misspeaking? You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen how aggressive Diddy can be when he wants something?
Yeah. Find the tape of him screaming and carrying on. "I want this," while I read Inner City Press's notes.
I got a better one for you.
Yeah, I love this.
Okay, play it.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
Daddy, I
down,
like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No.
I like that.
I'll be practicing. I got
Yeah.
Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
Daddy, I
at,
like
Mr.
when
Lee.
you
Right
scrambling
here,
and scraping. When you
it's right
scrambling
here,
and scraping for shit.
No. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over that one.
Make a
That
wish.
one?
Just blow it out. It's your birthday every day.
Every day's a birthday on Drink Champs. God damn it, I'm in.
Where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real? Because I'm
I
saying
miss-
it seems like a thing.
I
With
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party.
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your
him.
birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
Yeah, we partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother.
Oh, man.
Eyes. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Yo, okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Ray J, and F. Gary Gray. You know, I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But you know what I'm saying? They're like, you know, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay. Well, pause for the cause, guys. We got over 150 people watching. Please hit the like button. Also, just so please hit the like button. Also hit the subscription button. Also, just so you know, we are accepting super chats, super stickers, all of that. You can support us by sending us a super chat if you want your comments on the screen. So thank you to everyone for watching. Also, fresh off the press this morning, the DNA results came back. And again, I stand on, there was a woman's DNA found at the scene of Kid Cudi's car. I told you my theory, folks. My theory is Cassie did it. Diddy said, you love me, prove your love to me. That's my theory. Or now that we're listening to Miss Capricorn Clark, maybe she had something to do with it. Gray, what's your thoughts? Because obviously it wasn't Diddy that did it because his DNA wasn't found at the scene.
It's a possibility. Like, I mean, this case is just getting wilder and wilder and wilder. So I don't want to say, oh, this is necessarily what's going to happen. And no, Diddy is completely cleared. I think we're going to be fully surprised with what more information comes out. Like in the beginning, when we started this, I thought that one guy that was being interrogated, I just knew he was lying. And then to find out that he was telling the truth and Cassie confirmed it. So, I mean, like, I don't want to just make an assumption. Like, I'm watching the case closely. And guys, I'll definitely try to get you the facts. I want to be a reporter, not a loudspeaker. So I just want to make sure that I'm giving you the right information.
Well, I've definitely been giving facts this whole time. I mixed in with some opinion, but mainly facts. So pretty much, and I'm reading Inner City Press's notes now. We're going to switch gears from New York. I'm going to show you guys the difference between mainstream media and independent media. This is Inner City's press notes for the remainder of the time that we're streaming. Capricorn Clark testified that she was born in San Francisco, moved to LA. She worked for Def Jam, then Death Row Records. Okay. Then she moved from Death Row to work for Diddy. What was your relationship to Suge Knight? He is the father of my friend's child. Then you worked for Sean Combs. Yeah, I worked for Sean from 2004 to 2012. The AUSA asked her, was she kidnapped? So, like, she didn't say she was kidnapped. They're putting words in her mouth. Again, this is the spin of this whole case. When did you first meet Combs? When I moved to NYC in 2002. We were super platonic friends. I guess she was trying to say, hey, look, I didn't fuck him. A headhunter said I should work for him as a personal assistant. I did until 2006. Your duties: shadow him from wake up. Jesus Christ. And that man never sleeps. Poor girl. Then what were your other duties? I was the head of women's for Sean John. How long did you do that for? She said a year. The global brand director for Sean Combs, name and likeness due diligence to grow the brand. Then I was terminated until 2016 for Cassie Ventura. Did you work in this building? Yes. We moved there in 2005. Where did Combs take you your first date? To Central Park after dark, along with Uncle Polly. He looked like a linebacker. So they show him a picture of that. So pretty much met in 2002. Then she worked for him in 2004. Why didn't he know she worked for Suge Knight?
I think Diddy knew that she worked for Suge Knight because I know Suge Knight took pictures with Kim Porter. Did you know this?
Yeah. And also Tupac's ex-girlfriend is his baby mama.
Yeah, so like they were going back and forth. The beef was serious. Like a lot of people don't understand how serious this beef between Diddy and Suge Knight was. I mean, did you see when Suge Knight went on the award show and said, if you don't want a producer dancing your videos, like hit up Death Row, and Snoop Dogg was like, oh, New York.
You should play that.
Okay.
Go find that.
I'll play it.
All right. So she said that she was taken to go take a lie detector test. I'm going to fast forward. I'm just trying to find stuff that this guy has that wasn't said by New York Post. So basically they made her take a bunch of lie detector tests because of some watch that was stolen. She said she worked under an NDA Jury should disregard the last answer. I guess they don't want her knowing that she worked for an NDA. What would you have been doing? She goes, I was shadowing Combs. What happened after 5 days that I could return to work, that Mr. Combs would see me the next week? Did Mr. Combs ever discuss it with you? No. Why did you continue to work for Mr. Combs? If I left, they thought I stole it. What was your days like? From his townhouse at 74th Street and Park in the morning to Daddy's studio late at night. How much sleep did you get? On a good day, 4 hours. On a bad day, I got a stress condition. I was paid $55,000. So, guys, from what I'm gathering, and then you can play the video, she basically had a workers' comp claim for stress. In New York, I believe you're allowed to do that for stress only. So it's interesting that she got that paid. But you can play your clip now of the Suge Knight beef.
Yeah.
I can't hear it. Is the sound on?
Yeah.
Okay, now I can hear.
First of all, I'd like to thank God. Second of all, I'd like to thank my whole entire Defo family on both sides, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to tell Tupac to keep his guards up. We ride with him. And one other thing I'd like to say, any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
So they did that in New York. And prior to him going up there saying that, Snoop got on stage saying, oh, New York, y'all don't mess with Death Row. Y'all don't mess with Death Row. So it's the East Coast, West Coast beef. But him saying that, he was definitely talking about Puffy.
Right. That's a very good point. Okay, so going back to the testimony, how frequently would Mr. Combs stay in a hotel with Cassie Ventura in 2008? Like once a week at La Hermitage, the London Intercontinental for several days following IV trips. Did he speak to you about his relationship with Miss Ventura? Yes, Miss London was there. Chef Jordan in the other room. He called Cassie over, asked her to wait over there. Hand me that. Go back in the other room. She did it. What did he say? You bitches won't do that. That's why you don't have a man. So now we see an introduction to Lauren London's relationship. Listen, some people I know have conspiracies. They don't think Lauren London was really her friend. I don't agree with that. There's tons of pictures I've seen over the years with Lauren London. I don't know why people are saying these crazy conspiracies. But again, Lauren London was definitely in the mix. If anything, I would think she'd want to distance herself now, not bring up their relationship. Gray, what do you think about the conspiracy that this is made up about the relationship with Lauren London?
I mean, Lauren London dated Lil Wayne. She dated Nipsey. So, I mean, she was dating, people in the music industry, and those guys are kind of more street. So it's not like a far-fetched to say that she was dealing with Diddy. I think Diddy has been in game for a lot of time, so he's probably had a lot of access to a lot of people. I know a lot of people love Lauren London. They don't want to see her in that light. But, when you're new to the industry and you're coming up and you don't have a lot of opportunities, it's all about network. It's all about relationships. Even what we do is about relationships. So I'm going to say maybe Lauren London was around during that and they interacted, but everybody has a past.
Fair enough. Also, she testified that she helped Cassie get a burner phone. So basically, she was playing both sides. And maybe she had sympathy for Cassie, and this was her way to try to keep her silent, or you try to help her. So she starts to cry about seeing the abuse. Her, she was probably emotional for her to see him beating up on her. What did Mr. Combs say to you? He said, if you jump it, I'm going to F you up too. What did Rube do? Nothing. Who did you call? I called D-Rock. Tell your brother to stop Puff. He's kicking the shit out of her. Wow. I called Paulie too. I said he'd take care of it, but Rube did nothing. What's next? Mr. Combs told me to get the F out. I left on foot. Could you still see her getting kicked? Until I went around the bend. Then who did you call? Regina Ventura. I told her he's kicking the shit out of your daughter. I can't call the police, but you can. Why didn't you call the police? The mission of the day was to get Cudi, so no police calling. Why were all these men observing this, Gray? I understand that you guys have a code as a man not to step in, but I don't understand why all these men saw this and did nothing.
Because they had to be yes men. Like, they know if they got in Diddy's way, they're going to get on Diddy's bad side. That stops the money. That stops the opportunity. Diddy can blackball me. Like, listen, Diddy's been in the game since the 90s. Diddy's connected to Jay-Z. Diddy's connected to the biggest names. They did an entire list of all the times Diddy has been name dropped in rap songs. So those guys that are connected to Diddy, they don't want to stop that gravy train. And they also don't want their career or lives to be hurt. And Diddy has also been known for violence. So, I mean, like, and it is also a code. If a man touches his woman, that's between him and his woman. You can say, hey, you know, Diddy, calm down. But at the same time, I'm not saying that's his property, but it isn't a place for another man to really get into that situation unless he's law enforcement or unless he's got to contact law enforcement.
So then she testifies, how many times did Combs threaten you? I'd say about 50 times. D-Rock was there just doubling down on whatever Puff was saying in the moment. Who is Harv Pierre, the president of Bad Boy Records? I told him Puff had kidnapped me. What did Harv tell you? He said, that's crazy, but it's going to be okay. I got a termination notice. I was accused of not properly putting in for the vacation I was on. How did you put it? Had you put in? Yes, to Harv Pierre. Did you lose benefits? Yes, all of them. Health, 401k, my house and car. What did Mr. Combs say? That I would never work again, that he would make me kill myself. Did you get a job offer? I did, but it fell through. I couldn't get a job. Did you settle with Combs in October 2012? So they did a sidebar and an objection. Do you have any other pending litigation against Mr. Combs? No. Did you go back to work for him? In 2016, because no one else would hire me. Cassie had a new record deal with Epic. Who did you have to get approvals from? Sean Combs. Cassie was taking more drugs. Was she still dating Mr. Combs? Yes. In December 2023, why did you retain an attorney? I was traumatized by Cassie's civil complaint. Capricorn. Her complaint did not reference me. I reached out to Mr. Combs and said, I want my life back. You kidnapped me. Objection overruled. Was there a discussion of you working for Mr. Combs again? Yes, as chief of staff. When did you last speak with Miss Ventura? In 2018. And Kid Cudi, 2012. Woo, that was a lot. What do you think?
I think it is a lot. I think Diddy has been accused and probably has done a lot of this. There are people who have worked with Diddy that have just said multiple times that Diddy is violent. Diddy does make threats. So can some stuff not be like taken seriously and over the top? Sure, but Diddy seems to be a control freak. And let's just say, like, once you get that type of power and you're that top dog, it goes to your head.
Right. So now we move on about an hour into it. We're going to wrap up soon, but about an hour ago, his attorney's defense started questioning her. So basically, she said in 2002, she met Jeanette, then Miss Combs. In 2001 was the World Trade Center thing that I met Mr. Combs. He wasn't doing drugs, right? She said he did eat in Daddy house, but it got worse. Yes. So basically, they're going to try to say, his attorneys are trying to say, oh, well, his drugs was worse with Cassie. So you said that you think Cassie wasn't good for him. She goes, yeah, I think they were toxic. Do you remember saying you had the biggest crush on him? She goes, basically, they did a sidebar. I don't think they're going to allow that questioning. The judge ruled that you can't ask him that. So you started with Def Jam, Run DMC. She goes, I didn't go back that far. I started around the era of Foxy Brown, Redline, and Jay-Z. So how did you work for Mr. Combs? I put my resume on Monster after the World Trade Center thing. He said you'd work for me. I was like, maybe. He was acting on Raisin in the Sun. I was impressed. He had a major part. He was a star. Then I shadowed him on the Vote or Die campaign. My job was to get the t-shirts on the celebrities and into the photo shoots. I'd call them and say Puff wanted them to come. And they came. They did. How long before the jewelry missing thing? It was about 4 months. On the 4th of July, he threw a white party at his home on the Hamptons that year. And then the jewelry went missing. Because remember, the jewelry is a thing when they had her do the lie detector test. She goes, I got fired for 3 weeks. How did you get unfired? I went to work on his 35th birthday at Caprini to do the celebrity list. I came back. So basically, it seems like Just like his relationship with Cassie was on and off, his work relationship with this woman was on and off. What I'm hearing, it seems like there is some mental illness going on with Puffy. He appears to be bipolar. What do you think?
I want to show you this video if you don't mind. I know you got to go soon, but I want to show you what one is making a band member said that made him leave the group.
Freddie P, happy to have you on the platform, my man.
What's happening, man? Happy to be here.
Hey, man, we finally got you on the platform, man. I've been trying to get you on the platform for a good minute now, man.
Oh man, I'm glad we made it happen. When I look in there, I'll be telling people like, man, go ahead and hit Sean. You hit this guy right here, he gonna get it done. Cause you hit me, bro. I'm gonna talk circles, man.
Yeah, shout out to Sean, man, for making this happen, man. Cool dude. So before we get into the interview, refresh the audience memory on where they might know you from.
Well, I'm Freddie P. From making the band Platinum group. I'm from Liberty City, Miami, Florida. I'm like 1/6 of the band. I always been the one that was like, standoffish, always the quiet one. You know how that be. You always got one in every group.
Yeah, you was the quiet one that didn't care, man. You didn't care who Diddy was, man. But I gotta ask you, speaking of Diddy, how you feel about the situation he going through right now?
It was to me, honestly, and this ain't no slight. It's just I like to see people get they just do.
Hey, you need to take that down. Okay.
I leave that man alone because I hate bullies. But if I don't feel like he's guilty, I just feel like, bro, it's there. Like all them people ain't lying, and then when a person lie because they when a person lying, they ain't going into detail. Like it's certain things, and people always trying to blame Cassie. Like, no, bro, like you ain't never been around a billionaire before, so you can't be around that. You don't know how to judge that situation when somebody like it's kind of like the dude you ever seen the commercial. They hold a daughter, and you like, you gotta be quicker than that. They gonna keep dangling the money in your face. You gonna kiss like the carrot in front of the rabbit. You see the food, you gonna keep chasing it. And eventually you're gonna feel like, why would I quit? And I done got to the 12th grade. Like who gets to the 12th grade and quit school? So if you go through so many levels of embarrassment, whatever you want to call it, and then you get to where you feel like I surpassed a lot of stuff. I done did the worst of the worst. You go to feeling like, okay, I want to be compensated. But as far as his crib, man, I just feel like, man, they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? You see he quiet. You gotta look at the surroundings. Like people like, why his friends ain't talking? Why be looking for people to step up for me? You get what I'm saying? The time I'm in the mood, Nick is like, and he was like, yo, Playboy, money. What you think? Nick told me some shit about and what's so crazy is if a nigga threaten you like this, right? You laugh at a nigga like, man, get your funny ass from by me, boy. I'm gonna shoot you in your you know what I'm saying? This nigga threaten you, it hit different. You hear what I'm saying? Like, and I'm a gangster. Like I done been in real, I done seen it. I ain't gotta talk about him. Just tell you ain't nothing he can show me that I ain't seen. You get what I'm saying? So when he said this to me, it hit a nerve. It was like, it was on some like one day I woke up, I was in the mood. I'm in the studio, I'm snapping, whatever. I don't want to be with it. When you around a bunch of goofies, you a street nigga. Sometimes you don't want to be around the nerds. Sometimes the nerds irritate you. So I'm in that bitch. I'm just frustrated with a lot of shit that's going on. Anyway, we get in a situation. We in front of everybody. Nigga like he was like, man, money, man, what you think you bad or something? He was like, nigga, I'll buy every house on your block. Shut every light off on that bitch, and when you come out, every time you come out that bitch, you'll get popped. So when another nigga tell you some shit like that, you like, get your animated ass out of here, goofy ass. You feel what I'm saying? When he tell you some shit like that, you go to picture him purchasing every house. You go to picturing every light on the block going on. And that shit silenced me. And for you to make that, people ask why I left the band. Like, that's why I left the band. Like, that's why I didn't do Dave Chappelle. Like, we got into that.
So basically, Diddy told him that he would buy. I'm pretty sure you heard what he said. So what do you think about that threat that Diddy made to him?
I mean, it seems to be pretty consistent. Diddy made a lot of blanketed threats to people. And, so this is not looking good in regards for the whole racketeering charge. However, I have not heard the biggest important piece of the racketeering charge, which is the financial gain. So until we hear that, for me, the one charge that I think is going to for sure stick is the S trafficking charge.
Well, it's possible. It's possible. I think Diddy might dodge the RICO. I still feel that way, that it's a domestic violence case, because the more and more evidence that comes out, this really just seems like a toxic couple. The more and more evidence. I'm not looking at this as looking at John Gotti or Al Capone or even Big Meech, your average, criminal organization. It just looks more to me like a freak off, like they call it.
True. Well, guys, we have some exciting news. Please stay to the end of the video. We are going to New York City next Monday and Tuesday. We got big things coming. We're hoping to get inside the courthouse so we can give you our updates at 12 noon versus inner city presses. I think we might have to do it. Like, it depends whenever we have breaks from the trial. Gray, what's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts are, please stick with us. We're going to cover this Diddy trial. I know people are watching other content creators because they're not filming it, but we're going to get you all the information, and we're going to be bringing more and more information from before Diddy was even in this, so you guys can kind of know what's been going on and just keep you guys up to date on this Diddy trial.
All right, guys. Happy Tuesday. Have a nice week.
Hey guys, we've got something big coming up. We're headed in person to cover the Diddy trial on June 2nd and June 3rd, and we need your help to get there. As you know, we are now celebrating our 1-year anniversary, so it's an exciting time for us. We'll be making exclusive in-life content, interviews, updates from the courthouse, and behind-the-scenes moments you won't see anywhere else. This is about more than just one case. It's about getting the truth out there, accountability, and bringing our community real, unfiltered coverage straight from the front lines. If you rock with what we do and want to support independent media, hit the link below and drop something in the Cash App. Cash App below. Please support us. Every dollar counts. Travel, lodging, care. And we're doing this for the new party team. For always supporting us. Let's make some noise.